Probably not for the challenge, I have a feeling. Probably not for my music challenge.
First you need to go to GitHub.
Yeah.
Fork off your own Mastodon. Then
How much time do we have?
I can do this pretty quickly, I think. Mastodon is kind of like, it's like Twitter in that it's a place for you to post words and images and stuff, and a small amount of them.
Put eyes or something.
But what's
we should put eyes
what's
on it.
weird about it is that it's federated, because there are multiple servers running that are all like their own little community. If you think of a server just being like its own community, like you would if you're playing like Warcraft or anything else, or like Destiny, or like any of these places, like all those games and stuff, they all have their own servers. In some cases, it's like if you belong to a server, you can only play with the people who are also on that server. So Mastodon runs on many, 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 many servers. And what they do is they form a federation of servers where they say each server can talk to each other. And so you can get somebody like, I'm on Octodon, and Ian is on the mastodon.social server. But I can see all of his posts because Mastodon and Octodon are part of the same federation. And so I just subscribe to @ihorner @mastodon.social, and all of a sudden I get all of his stuff in my feed.
Yeah, so but by default, you can just look at the fire hose of your own
Local
server, local.
Yeah.
But it's so in the respective of like how Twitter would work, for instance, it still allows you to see all the people you want to see from all those places. But if you just want to look at your own server, you would just see the things on your server as opposed to all the other federated servers.
Yeah. So if you think of the local timeline, which is just local to your own server, which is everybody who's on there making their posts, think of that fire hose. Now think of a fire hose of fire hoses.
Yeah.
That's the federated timeline. That's like having everything everyone's ever written on Twitter, all of that coming into your timeline on Twitter all at the same time. Nobody uses the federated timeline. I don't even know why it exists on most apps, because it's completely useless.
Well, it might not have been as useless when there was only a few, like 10,000 users or whatever. But
That's a
now
fair
that
point.
There's more than a million. It's kind of useless. But the other thing that is interesting about that is that each server can have their own software, right? So
Yeah.
they might have different features,
Yeah.
which is kind of a weird thing. The
They-
fact that, like, you're all on this federated social network with each other, but like your instance might have different functionality and features than other ones, and also different rules. So there's some Mastodon instances that are very strict about behavioral stuff, and other ones that are much more loose about them. They're like, we don't allow any talk of this kind of thing or that kind of thing. And of course, you can still subscribe to people that are on other ones and still see it in your timeline, but they are not going to allow certain behaviors on there, and they have different kind of controls and
Yeah.
codes of conduct and stuff like that.
Which is great if you're kind of feeling like it's like I want to be in a place where I'm not seeing certain things, or or I'm only allowed to post in a certain way, so that kind of gives me a limitation. Like for the ones that I'm on, I could never make an alternate account that would allow me to post all the crazy stuff that I will post to like other places, right?
You'd have to do that on another
I'd have to go to
service.
another instance and do that, because it's like I go to another server, what they call another instance. I'd have to make a new account and just do everything
Or
on
you
that
could make
completely
your
different thing. Or yeah, that's the cool thing. You can make your own. Like XOXO did that. They said we should have a Mastodon instance, and so they rolled up a server and they did it. And now you can see people rolling around with XOXO.zone. I think you have one.
I
of
have
those.
one, but I haven't used it really.
Yeah, but it's like
They only allow. They might have opened it up now, but at first they only allowed attendees to get to do it. You had to go into the attendee Slack and request a Mastodon. And I was like,
okay.
I could just like hang out in the Slack, I guess. Like, why do I need to have another way of socializing with these people?
I think it's a really cool way to run a Twitter-alike thing. And I have essentially migrated myself off of looking at Twitter altogether. I check in once a day. I check in, and I only have my mentions open just to see people say stuff about me, because it's like people will ask questions or stuff all the time, and I'll see things show up. But I'm forcing myself to not answer there because I don't want to put Twitter back in my life. And Mastodon is nice for me to spend time at, and so that's a decision I've made. So.
I have a request.
Yeah.
Can we all stretch?
Yeah, actually, that's a great idea.
Also,